What if I told you that real growth doesn't come from comfort? It comes from collapse. We talk about rebuilding ourselves like it is a weekend project. But the truth is, the soul doesn't rebuild itself in silence or safety. It rebuilds through storms, losses, heartbreaks, and battles no one else sees. Most people today are chasing happiness, but the Stoics, they chase truth. And truth, my friend, is not gentle. It is harsh. It is raw. It is the mirror that doesn't lie. As Seneca once said, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So, if life feels heavy right now, good. It means the rebuilding has already begun. In this video, we're going to face 10 brutal Stoic truths that rip your illusions apart and rebuild your soul from inside out. No fluff, no fake positivity. Just the raw medicine of Stoicism, the kind that hurts before it heals. But before we begin, do one thing. Don't watch this passively. Comment below, I am ready to rebuild. Because this isn't a video, it is training. And every truth you face here will demand honesty, humility, and heart. The first truth is this: no one is coming to save you. That is not meant to crush you. It is meant to free you. You can wait for someone to rescue you. But the Stoics would tell you, the only one responsible for your life is you, Epictetus said. No man is free who is not master of himself. Most people never rebuild because they're waiting for rescue. When you stop waiting and start acting, even if your hands shake, you take back your power. The Stoic warrior doesn't say, "Why me?" He says, "Now what?" That is the mindset that rebuilds souls, responsibility over rescue. You are the architect of your pain, and you are the architect of your peace. You will lose people. That is another truth. We think strength means holding on, but sometimes strength is letting go before the rot spreads. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we love is on the verge of loss." People will change, they'll leave, they'll disappoint you. And when they do, the Stoic response isn't bitterness, it is gratitude. Gratitude that you got to share a chapter, even if not the whole book. Gratitude that their absence carves space for your evolution. Every goodbye clears room for a better version of you to arrive. Stop clinging to ghosts. Stop fighting endings. You are not losing people, you are shedding skins. Another truth: most of your suffering is self-inflicted. That is a tough pill to swallow, but the Stoics believe the mind is a battlefield, and most wounds are friendly fire. Seneca warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." You replay the betrayal, you rehearse the failure, you bleed from wounds that no longer exist. Ask yourself, how much pain am I creating by refusing to let go? How much peace am I destroying by choosing to dwell? The Stoic approach is simple. Detach from the illusion of control. What is done, what is lost is lost. And yet here you are, still breathing, still capable of beginning again. Comfort is your enemy. Modern life worships ease, soft beds, instant rewards, endless escape. But the Stoics trained in the opposite direction. Seneca practiced sleeping on the floor and eating plain food. Not to suffer, but to stay strong. Set aside a number of days, he wrote, in which you shall be content with the scantiest fare, and say to yourself, "Is this the condition that I feared?" Comfort weakens the spirit. Discomfort trains it. You cannot rebuild your soul while hiding from pain. Every struggle you face is resistance training for the mind. Every discomfort is proof that you are still alive, still growing. Don't run from it. Lean in. The Stoic doesn't ask, "How can I make life easier?" He asks, "How can I become stronger?" And here is a painful one. You are not your emotions. Brutal, because emotions feel real. But the Stoics knew their only visitors. You feel anger, but you are not anger. You feel fear, but you are not fear. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Every emotion that arises can also pass. Most people react, the Stoic reflects. They pause, they breathe, they decide. Because real power isn't in not feeling. It is in not being ruled by what you feel. When you control your emotions, you control your future. You've just faced 5 truths, and maybe part of you feels uncomfortable. That is good. That discomfort is your soul stretching. We broke down half of the walls, but there is more to tear down before you can rebuild completely. Next part, we're going to go deeper, into mortality and purpose, and into the kind of peace that comes only when you know who you are beneath everything you've lost. Soft music fades back in. If you are still here, let me know in the comments. I am ready to face the rest. Because part 2 begins now, and what is coming next will hurt, but it will set you free. You've already faced the first 5 truths. The pain, the discomfort, the silence between who you were and who you are becoming. But if you are still here, that means something inside you refuses to quit. And that is where real transformation begins, in the refusal to collapse. Because the next truths, they don't just test your strength, they test your soul. The 6th truth is one that humbles everyone. You will fail again and again. You will build, lose, rebuild, and lose again. That is not punishment. That is preparation. The Stoics never saw failure as final to them. It was feedback from the universe. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the impediment to action advances. Action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every setback you faced wasn't meant to stop you. It was meant to strengthen you. Every rejection, every closed door, every sleepless night was a lesson in disguise. The world doesn't break you when you fail. It breaks the illusions you had about control. Failure is a teacher that doesn't flatter. It is cruel, but it is fair. Learn from it, and you'll rise untouchable. Run from it, and you'll spend your life haunted by what could have been. Now, truth number 7, everything ends. That's the part most people can't face. The Stoics practiced memento mori, the meditation on death, not to be dark, but to be alive. You could leave life right now, Marcus wrote. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Let it sink in. You could leave life right now, the people you love, the chances you keep postponing, the dreams you've buried under excuses. None of them are guaranteed. The awareness of death isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. Because when you live like time is infinite, you waste it. But when you remember it's slipping away, every breath becomes sacred. The Stoic doesn't run from mortality. He uses it as a compass. It keeps him urgent, grateful, alive. The 8th truth. Control what you can, release what you can't. The world spins in chaos. People lie, plans fail, life shifts without warning. Yet most of us try to grip it all, to force the world to behave. But as Epictetus put it best, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. You cannot control the storm. You can control your ship. You cannot control other people. You can control your reactions. The Stoic doesn't waste energy on the uncontrollable. He invests it into discipline, his focus, his peace. It is what makes him calm in the crisis. Whereas others are in a panic, he acts. And when others complain, he adapts. Control yourself, and you control the only thing that ever mattered. 9th, pain will visit you again and again until you learn to stop resisting it. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, pretending it is optional. But the Stoics knew that pain is the price of depth. It refines you, strips you of what is false, and reveals what is real. When Seneca was exiled, stripped of status and comfort, he didn't despair. He wrote, taught, and endured. For he knew that pain doesn't destroy the strong, it reveals them. Every painful experience in your life can either harden you or awaken you. The difference is your perception. Don't curse your suffering, thank it. It is not your punishment. It is your purification. And now, the final truth. Everything you need is already in you. That is the one truth people search for their whole lives, usually everywhere. But inside, you think strength is something you gain. But the Stoics believed it is something you uncover. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you've always been. Beneath all the noise, the doubts, the fear, there is a version of you that is calm, clear, and unbreakable. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in his journal to himself, "Dig within. Within is the wellspring of good, and it is always ready to bubble up if you just dig." That is where peace lives, not in possessions, not in praise, not in control, but in self-mastery. The Stoic doesn't chase external validation. He builds internal power. He doesn't seek applause. He seeks alignment. This is what the Stoics were trying to teach us. Life is short. Time is fragile. Control is an illusion. But the mind, the will, the soul, that is eternal. You can rebuild it any time, anywhere, no matter how broken you feel. Because from this moment on, you are no longer at the mercy of life. You are the master of it. And when you live like that, calm, disciplined, and unshaken, nothing and no one can touch your peace again. Music fades out, silence. Then one final line.